The idiot not to do it.
Yeah.
No, I ain't been here all week. He's just coming in here last minute. Meet you guys. Yeah. Oh, what if you go pump that water out of that elevator? I'll drop it on you. So,
I can change that. I can change that thing. Just worry about him doing something he's never done.
I just talked to Richie a little bit about it. Richie was saying that we got a service contract. Those guys are supposed to do it. Evidently, that guy didn't want to do it. And what?
They don't. He says he's never done it. When Randy said, or Richie said, well, he said, well, that'd be like you saying, what, you want to horse program track 2 times? I said, well, I've never done that. Well, how would you feel? That's kind of how I felt. He's like, well, I've never done that. I'll quote it. It'll take me a few days to quote it. And he said that his thing, he don't want them down in the water. Because he said the first reason is because electrical current. But he stuck his foot. He said there's no current in it. It's just there's yeah. He said, I said, well, how do we know there's no current in it? Because I could see the outlet that it's not in the water. He said, I know it's no current in it. But there's no electrical to be in there. He said he can open it and said it's good. So they go right off.
Yeah.
So when Randy said, he said, well, I've never done that. But that being said, we can see what he's about to do. Unplug it over here, pull that one up, instead of another something like that, plug it up, and it's done.
I mean, I know what there is.
That's why I say, okay, you show me. He showed me how, when you open a door, you push the button and get lost out. It's got PJs up there. He said, listen, I'll come over here for free and make sure it's locked out if you guys can change it up.
Now, Richie was home.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
He said, I'll come over here and be with you. If you want to change something, make sure it's locked out. He said, he was in the week there.
Well, see, that's the way to do it.
That's what I thought.
Richie didn't tell you that.
But he went like Randy does. Randy will not back down on him. I thought Richie was like, I said, that Richie, I said, you got a truck up over here? I don't shit. You just gotta pop out there and stand on it. That's fine.
So then nothing else done. Well, what we need to do is tomorrow.
Very rowdy crowd. All right, here we go. I'd like to welcome everyone to our January Board of Education meeting. I'd like to thank Dr. May for chairing the meeting last month. Thank you very much. And if everyone would, please stand. And Dr. Gardner, if you'd lead us in a moment of silence and pledge the flag.
Okay, let's have our moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's time for citizens to speak in accordance with Board Policy 1.404. Anyone wishing to address the board, please come forward. But since no one put their name on the agenda, we're going to move on. So that's easy. And so it's time to approve the consent and regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments or?
I'd like to make an adjustment in the regular agenda.
Okay.
Item number 7, approve on first reading board policy 6.314, corporal punishment. I would like to change that to rescind that policy if I could, please.
Do we have a change that was coming up on that one?
The change that we did make to that was to reflect the language that Mr. Isaacs had suggested, moving from a may to a shall, make communication or contact with a parent. That is something that we made a change in the new proposed policy that's before you under item 7. I believe Ms. Peters is what she has asked to put in front of the board is to amend that not to include corporal punishment.
Do we have a second to change that? And we'll keep it as is, and we can discuss that. Anybody else have any questions or comments? I will be recusing myself from the vote as I have a family member as a new hire, so I will not be voting on that. So, all those in favor to approve the consent regular agenda? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed.
Thank you. Okay. Personal update.
Okay. Have a few things to update you about. One is a possible city council school board meeting. We have tentatively now rescheduled that for February 8th at 4:30 at City Hall. That is the time that
Can you tell me that date one more time? I'm sorry.
February 8th at 4:30. The regularly scheduled city council meeting is that night at 6 o'clock. We're hoping to go in there just a little bit early and talk about a few items on that and have an opportunity to talk. Mostly the main concern there is TA Duggar. And then we'll talk about a few other things with the city council that they've requested to talk about. Mainly the hospital property, just an update on that, and lease agreement. Talk a little bit about SROs at the elementary school with the possibility of a new budget, and make sure that those things are there. One item I am going to bring up is a student on the city council. We want to bring that back up as an opportunity possibly for the city to look at and put that on the agenda for March. I just wanted to make sure I extend the same courtesy we've given to teachers and to our administrators and central office staff. If you have things that you would like for us to look at or address in the budget, we're getting ready to start that. I just received the budget forms back. Ms. Wilson gave those to me about a week ago. If you have items that you would like for us to take a look at, please let me know, and we will put that on there for discussion during the discussion of our general annual budget. I want to say thanks to Becca and also Dr. Newman. Becca, could you talk just for a second about the book bus that we'll be considering this evening?
This is a program that our teachers have wanted to do for a while, but the Governor's Books from Birth Foundation approached us, and they are currently working in Carter, Unicoi, and Elizabethton to get book buses, just like they've done in Johnson City and Greene County also. So we were awarded a $4,000 ARC grant, and that's going to be part of the funding we need to outfit our bus and staff our summer program. So that bus is going to visit right now probably 5 or 6 of our more distressed neighborhoods and take books into those communities that kids can keep and add to their home libraries. So,
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know, the consideration this evening is to surplus a bus that we're getting ready to put, repurpose it, and have it come back as our book bus. So, and with the help of Mr. Perkins, who we recognized a couple months ago, we can outfit it to be a pretty neat place for kids to enjoy. I want to say thanks to Mr. Colbert. He received a work-based learning grant for $25,000. That was done in conjunction with the county, and we want to thank the county mayor and his secretary, Susan, who worked very hard on that to try to help us do that. It will give work-based opportunities. Susan came with me and met with, and Terry, and we met with them early on, and were responsible to try to have opportunities for students from the high school work in local government, and that we wanted them to see some of the different opportunities that they have in our community, and it'll be a part of our Bartleby program, and so we're really excited about that. I want to say a special thank you to Joe Laporte for his continued guidance and help in a lot of things that we do. He's steadfast in supporting the school system, and their whole family is. Sam as well has been working with me all month this month. They're just a huge support to us overall. I want to say special thank you to our teachers at Harold McCormick. We had a leak this month. It was an unexpected situation. They have been very resilient. It's been difficult. Mr. Wampler was down there with me when the water was pretty high and we were stepping through it, but he was worked with me to try to take care of his teachers. We've been out, and I think we're moved back in somewhat at this point. Yep. So we're getting back. We've had a company in from the insurance company working on that. So thanks to all those teachers for their hard work and inconvenience. We're still fundraising for the art space. Terry, we've had some success, and Terry and I have brainstormed, and we're working on that. And we've had a lot. We'll have more to come on that maybe this time next month. I'd also like to say Travis Thompson, our new supervisor that's come in, the school system will be sponsoring him to go to the Prospective Superintendent's Academy. He'll finish his doctoral degree coming up maybe in May or this summer, and the TSBA puts that on for people that are in that phase of life to be able to move on at some point, be able to be superintendent in a school system, so we'll be sponsoring him to go on and do that. So we're happy to have a candidate for that. And otherwise, I guess Mr. Boatman.
Mr. Boatman. Remember this time, it's highlighted and everything.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thanks for having me tonight. I could spend, an hour up here talking about stats and numbers and data, but I've been threatened by the back of the room to keep it short. So I thought tonight first I would just tell you what makes EHS a special place, and the test scores and all that are great, but what makes EHS special is the family atmosphere and the people that are there. It's a guidance counselor who spends more than 18 hours over the course of 3 days talking to the VA and insurance companies because we have a student whose only living relative was her dad as a veteran who died. And she had no other family to take care of her, so our counselor did that for her. It's 2 students who every morning help me push up chairs in the Commons because they say it's not the principal's fault that people are lazy. It's a girl who cares more about her peers than she does about herself and has experienced anxiety herself, so she started her own support group and deals with kids from freshmen through seniors who deal with everything from divorced parents to test anxiety to bullying, and pays for snacks for those meetings out of her own pocket. It's about an entire service learning class who regularly ask me if they can throw parties and help out our special needs students because they just love them. It's students who ask me if I can meet them at school after hours so they can decorate their favorite secretary's office for her birthday and surprise her the next morning. And it's a teenager who dedicates her time to be at a school board meeting instead of at a basketball game with her friends tonight. It's when a substitute SRO comes in and says, I was dreading the day, but your kids are awesome. Thanks for having me. So if you guys would like to at any point sit down and discuss, how our graduation rate's 3rd in the state, or how we're moving from a 1 to a 3 in 1 year on our TVAS scores, or how our attendance rate is improving, I'd love to do that with you sometime, but I won't take much of your time tonight just to say thank you for letting us be a special place and for allowing us to have that family atmosphere. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Well, that's a nice way to start the meeting. All right, let's move on to the regular agenda. It's time to approve first reading board policy 6.200, attendance as proposed. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, this basically is a matching deal. We're going to take care of testing programs, and it's going to be listed, the percentage. All we're doing is making these 2 items match, 4.700 and 6.200, and making sure we have the same language in both. We didn't want to have to go back and every time we change one, change the other. So we're going to say refer it and reference 4.700 in this one, and we'll make one change to one policy in the future, because testing-wise, I think as we move forward, the state will continue to change that in a perpetual way. We're hoping maybe we'll have some luck in this general session and do that. So we're just kind of cleaning this up.
Anybody have any questions or comments on that? All right, item on the floor, approve on first reading board policy 6.200, attendance as proposed. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, approve on first reading board policy 6.314, corporal punishment as proposed. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a
Second.
second? Thank you.
And obviously, we've made the change that Mr. Isaacs had for us, making sure that if that was to be administered, it would, parents would be notified prior. In this specific one, it says before corporal punishment would be is administered.
Okay. Have any questions or comments?
Well, this is the 4th time, I believe, we've discussed this particular item, and you all know how I feel. I do not feel that corporal punishment should be within the purview of public schools. I realize that the parents have the option of it, but I know that the principals haven't used it. But as I've said before, I don't think with all the anti-bullying and anti-violence that we preach at the children constantly, that we should have the option of using any kind of physical violence with the children.
item on the floor, approve on first reading Board Policy 6.314, corporal punishment as proposed. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed.
Thank you. Next item, approve on first reading Board Policy 6.300, Code of Behavior and Discipline as proposed. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay. This one's on here just because of the fact that it's a replacement to our other policy that we've had in the past, 6.313, discipline procedures. Is that correct? So all we're doing is adopting a new policy that covered the same information that we would in 6.313. And that's why you will see in the next item that 6.313 is going to be rescinded, because we're doing away with that policy. If we pass 6.300, it will take the place of 6.313. So we're not going to have both running at the same time. It's basically the same, but it's just a different number that TSBA has come out with covering the same information.
So this is, on both of these are housekeeping from TSBA.
So I make a
Yes.
motion to amend the current to take that at the same time. So one vote does both.
Second on that?
That's fine.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments on these two? All right. Item on the floor is approve on first reading Board Policy 6.300, Code of Behavior and Discipline as proposed, and therefore that would rescind Board Policy 6.313. So, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Opposed.
Thank you. Motion carries. And then we had some agenda changes, so we've got a few on the other page. Approve agreement between Blackburn Childers and Stegall PLC auditors and Elizabethton City Schools to perform a fraud examination as a result of certain information which has come to the attention of the Elizabethton City Schools in the estimated amount not to exceed $4,000. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
This particular item is to have Blackburn Children's Stegall come in and look over our books to make sure that we are sound. And it is something that we need to do at this point to make sure that we have a good path moving forward. And so we're doing a full review to make sure if there's anything that we can find that would be a possible issue, that we could correct that and move forward.
Any other questions or comments? Item on the floor, approve agreement between Blackburn Childress and Stegall PLC auditors and Elizabethton City Schools to perform a fraud examination. Estimated amount not to exceed $4,000. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, approve removal of ECS bus number 22 from transportation services on April 27, 2018, as it will no longer be able to transport students beginning June 28, 2018, and outfit it for use in the Betsy Book bus program. This is part of an in-kind donation required for fulfillment of the grant awarded ECS by the Governor's Books from Birth Foundation. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
This is what we talked about previously. This will be to outfit our bus and decommission that bus, but be used for books to be transported to schools and parts of our community.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions or comments on that?
I guess the question I have, what is going to replace this bus? Is that something in our current budget, or are you going to propose this in our? Next month, okay. So we're going to buy a bus next month, okay.
Yeah.
But
I
this
knew there
month,
had
we
to
get
be
to do
something.
something fun.
Yeah.
But is that in our current budget? Did we already plan? So you're going, okay. Start the process now, and it'll get paid for in our next year's budget.
Probably October, because of, next month for the inspection.
So irregardless of this program, we'd be looking at this anyway.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And this bus is pretty much done, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the oldest bus in the fleet. It does go off this summer, can't be used for, transporting students, but it certainly can transport.
It can transport books, though, right? Oh, that's great. And we'll enjoy the fact we don't have to buy a bus this month, so
Yeah.
we'll just enjoy that. Little
Pretty much.
victories. You may have any more questions or comments on that? Item on the floor, approve removal of ECS Bus 22 from Transportation Services on April 27, 2018, and then we will re-outfit it June 28, 2018 as the Betsy Book Bus Program. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number, last one. Approve Citizens Bank resolution to change signature cards for accounts on file for Elizabethton High School. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
This will just be to change signers on our accounts, and we'd ask for all of you to stay after for a few minutes to make sure to sign that, and we'll have Tyler sign it maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Do you have any questions or comments? Okay. Item on the floor, approve Citizens Bank resolution to change signature cards for accounts on file for Elizabethton High School. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Before we leave, we have been lovingly invited to our elementary school lunch, so we need to come up with some dates for that because Travis Hurley will give me the stink eye, and I don't want that to happen. So we need to try to find some dates for that. Don't forget the city council meeting on the 8th. And then our next regularly scheduled board meeting will be Tuesday, February 20, 2018, 6:30 here in the boardroom. And thank you for all the goodies for School Board Appreciation Week. We appreciate you guys appreciating us. so
We
thank you.
appreciate you appreciating us.
Yes. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
Thank you. Have a good evening.